The Kurds represent an ethnic group that origins date way back, although there'll be a podcast on their history, so I won't do that now, that really got us excited to even begin to engage this class. The Kurds currently reside in 4 different nation states, but for our purposes here in this module, we'll be focusing on Kurds that live in 3 different nation states. We'll be focusing on Kurds that live in the modern-day nation state of Iraq, who may not be the best example of statelessness as they're actually seeking to gain autonomy to craft a state. We're going to be focusing on Kurds that currently live in the nation state of Turkey and their consistent resistance since the 1970s and early 1980s. And most importantly, the inspiration for using the Kurds in this course, the ones that have managed to establish an autonomous zone in Rojava or Rojava, depending on pronunciation, in, of course, the modern-day nation state of Syria, who have been fighting successfully for the last about 5-6 years, since about the Arab Spring started to take a turn, and establishing themselves in what we call democratic confederalism. Democratic confederalism will come up in your readings. Its foundational thinker is a man named Abdullah Öcalan. So as you're going through the readings and listening to the podcast, we want you to keep his ideas on how to organize a society in the back of your mind. Now, this particular module will go through 3 separate podcasts. 1 on the history of the Kurds, 2 on the more modern notion of Kurdishness in Iraq and Turkey and Syria, and then finally on the general idea of communalism. There'll also be some readings attached, and then finally, given current historical context, there'll be a video not produced by myself or Nick, just one that we have attached, that discusses what is going on in Rojava right now, because things have recently taken a turn for the worse because of certain decisions made on a geopolitical level regarding abandoning the Kurdish cause. And that video gives a lot of insight into how fragile statelessness can be in 2020.